What is up, guys? Welcome back to another chill street photography walk and talk. Today's video is going to be featuring the streets of Seattle, Washington. I recently went on a solo photography trip down to Seattle and I spent all day, every day, taking pictures. So this is my very first encounter with the streets of Seattle. Right after parking my car, I see these big spheres. They are so cool. I come to find out later they're actually called the spheres. And the architecture on them and the surrounding areas was just phenomenal. This alleyway, with the way that the light hit it, completely blew my mind. It wasn't even sunset. It was around 2 p.m. that I took these shots. And yet you've got this really cool greenish, goldish light that reflects through everything. And check out the peak neoliberalism here. I absolutely love all of the architecture that I saw. I was completely blown away the entire trip. I just couldn't help myself walking up and down every single street at least twice. I probably walked about 12 kilometers a day. There was a lot of broken glass in Seattle, as many major cities have. I took a lot of pictures of glass, and in back alleyways, there was this exceptional alleyway that had this beautiful beam of light pouring through it that really created a beautiful silhouette. There was this alleyway that also had a beautiful lighting effect hitting it, and this was right by Pike Market, which is one of the most iconic locations in Seattle. They were doing some construction, and I got some interesting pictures near that, and then I decided to delve into the market. It was very busy and hard to take photos there, but I had a blast exploring the area. Got some nice samosas for lunch and a glass of lemonade, and shared it with my favorite travel buddy, Squirtle. Went to a really cool camera shop, didn't find anything that I wanted, but I had fun perusing all of these shelves of just things. Then it was time to walk back to my car and refill my parking, so that's the footage that you're seeing now is my journey back. There was this building that had been recently demolished right next to the Space Needle, so I was able to get some really cool photos of that. And I would actually return to this building later on the next day, so stay tuned for more pictures of that. This street really reminded me a bit of Main Street in Mount Pleasant. It was just kind of this nice neighborhood feel, even though it was nested right in the middle of a big city. This guy made the same mistake twice. Then I decided that I wanted to go and look for a very specific building that was on my to-see list, and it is the Amazon Tower and the Rainer building, which is beside it. So I see this big tower, and I assume that that is the Amazon Tower because it looks similar to the ones that I've seen. The Amazon Tower has a very specific curve to it, and when I got up close to this building, it didn't look like it had that curve to it. I was like, well, shoot, is this just a different tall glass building with curvilineal architecture? And then I got around back, and I was like, oh, wait, I was just on the wrong side. So this is some of the buildings that are beside that kind of Rainer Square area. And I decided to take a quick detour to photograph some of these before I then returned back to take pictures of the Amazon Tower and the Rainer building. And here you can see the Rainer building, which was by far the spookiest building because it's just this big thing of concrete hanging over your head. It's very spooky to walk underneath. And right beside it was the, I guess, famous curve of the Amazon building. I hung out around that for quite a while, took a lot more photos than the ones that you're seeing in this video. The streets nearby are just filled with these beautiful buildings, old and new, fantastic architecture on every single corner, just calling to me saying, come photograph me, come check me out. And here are just a few of my favorites. I couldn't photograph every building in Seattle, unfortunately, but oh my God, did I try. So after that, I had been walking for, I think, close to 8 hours at that point, and I decided that it was time to return home. And so here are my final photos of the day, caught in the receding golden hour sun. All in all, an absolutely beautiful day, and even though I was super, super tired, I was completely ready to get up and do it again. So the next day, I woke up at 5 in the morning, and I got to the Space Needle by around 5:45, and here's the Space Needle grounds, and there's no one there. It was a real privilege being able to photograph this area without having any tourists in my way, and kind of a surreal sight because I'm used to seeing it packed with people, as I'm sure anyone who's been to Seattle is as well. And the Space Needle in that dawn light looked absolutely gorgeous. And of course, I had to get some of my iconic tourist Space Needle shot. Couldn't help myself, but I did try to get a little bit creative with how I photographed it. And so this one was taken in the reflection of the Museum of Pop Culture. After that, I decided to walk around a little bit and try and find some breakfast. I found this really cool art installation and some trophies for some reason. There was trophies like sitting everywhere around the Space Needle grounds. Don't know why. But I did find breakfast, and after that I decided to start photographing some alleyways and just making use of these really bold shadows that appear in the early dawn light. There was this fantastic tree, and this was in front of what was called the sculpture garden, which I was super excited about, but honestly this tree was my favorite sculpture there. And I actually walked up to the sculpture garden and sat around and took a bit of a rest there. I found this path that had a bunch of salmon berries. I think these are salmon berries, they may be loganberries or something, but they're related to blackberries and raspberries, and they're very much edible and they're very delicious. So I got some free food from the forest, thank you forest, and sat and ate it with Squirtle in front of the water. After that, I walked down to the pier. There's a very large waterfront area in Seattle. It was quite hot at this point, so I was trying to kind of like get some pictures and get out, you know, but it was still a really beautiful area. And my goal here was to try and walk towards Pike Place Market. Pike Place Market is not actually at the waterfront, it's a few blocks up. So I overshot it and had to come back. And then, oh my god, I was so tired, I just decided to sit down and work on some photo editing and some sorting and things for about an hour. And after that, I went by a mall, and this mall, I didn't get anything too fun there, but there was this really cool overpass that had these big windows and showed the street below. I don't think I got a really good shot, but I got something fun, and I had a good time doing it. And then it was time to return to my car. I used one of these scooters that is everywhere in Seattle. So I scooted back to my car to meet up with Sel, who is Sepia Sapphic on Instagram. Go check them out. And they do really, really cool photography, and they showed me around their favorite neighborhood in Seattle. We got a lot of fun pictures and we had a great time. And so that is the end of the photos that I'm going to be showing you from my Seattle trip. I might make a video in the near future about my experience photographing the Roe v. Wade protests in Seattle, and that was a whole other half of my trip, so stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed this chill street photography walk and talk. I really appreciate you guys watching the videos on my channel. Let me know down in the comment section if you want to see more videos like this. I come out with new videos every single Monday, so subscribe and stay tuned for more. Thank you guys, take care, stay sharp, and don't forget to keep shooting.